It is that time again. Welcome back to Nemesis. This will probably be the last progress update I am making of this godforsaken ride recreation, and that's for good reason, because we are actually making huge progress with this thing, and I know it's been a while, so hello again. You might have noticed that I put out that Exodus video and then sort of disappeared for a month. Yeah, I'm sorry, I sort of forgot to upload. But I'm here now, so I just wanted to show you probably the last update Nemesis is going to have before the finished product comes out. Aiming for the end of the year, not entirely sure, but, you know, here we are. So, without further ado, let's get into what has changed. So you might have already sort of noticed this whole section is brand new. We now have the entire top of the lift section completely done. This is a brilliant time train to come through. This whole section is now totally accurate to what it should be in real life. I've been using obviously the floor plans that I made, and I've been making these sort of chain link fences which encapsulate this whole nice section here. One main thing that I've tried to do with this recreation is to push the boundaries of realism and what terrain and things can look like. So if I just quickly hop over here, I've really tried to get that realistic ground cover on some of the areas that you wouldn't normally see or focus on in a recreation. Oh, bloody hell. So that's been a main focus for me on this section. So I'm really happy with how this area has turned out, and it's honestly one of the most... You know when you see a recreation and you know it feels like the ride? This is one of those areas where it just feels like Nemesis. You can recreate it to a T in terms of the planning permission, but you have to nail the feeling of the ride as well. So this whole section is now beautifully finished, and I'm really happy with how this turned out. So I think we'll move on to the next section, which is this extended queue line, which you might have used this, you might have not. If you haven't been to Alton Towers since, COVID, you probably might not have used this unless you went on Scarefest or a day where it's really busy. This is an extended queue line which they open. Obviously, that section up there is also part of this same queue line, but this is the main section of the queue line that is used whenever it's COVID or busy, and you get some really nice views of the train going through the first drop element there, which is really nice. And this area was a bit of a pain to do because I had to work out heights for terrain and things, but you know, it works. It looks pretty good. It's not horrendous on the GPU either. So honestly, I'm very happy with the actual end result of this. And if we go over to this corner, you get that really nice overall view of the coaster and its area, which I think is one of those really nice feeling elements. But looking back, it was a very nice build. I'm going to get out of Tedgicam now, Jesus. So yeah, this whole area fits in this sort of footprint here. If I look from top down, you can sort of see the path that the queue takes. Quite a big area to work on. But it's a nice finished bit that, you know, is more of the details I didn't do last time I built this. But even then, that wouldn't even, you know, get close to what I've done this time. And the attention to detail I've really tried to go for. And one big thing is this area here. There is a service road, and in this gap is the monorail shed, where all the trains are put on, serviced, whatever. So I'm probably going to build a very rough version of that, just to sort of tie this area together. And also it leads back to this main road in the car park, which has this little gated entrance that you can see the train going through. That is really loud. Again, I've got this little service area where you can see the vertical loop. I'll just wait for a train to come through. Clearly going through the stall turn there. And it sort of is visual around here. There it is. And I remember so many times of going to towers and seeing the, Nemesis through the trees. And I feel like I wanted to leave a gap this time so that you can have those moments. And I'm really glad that there are trees in this game that you can use to get that effect. Like, I've used the Ponderosa Pines sparingly. Create a sort of empty tree line rather than really full of bushes and you can't see anything. Which is sort of a nice effect this time compared to what I did last time. But yeah, so that whole section is now done. I've also done the vegetation around here. It's one of those things where the more you put down, the better the ride gets. You can't overdo the vegetation on Nemesis because it really is overgrown. Like this section here just feels steep and the ride looks massive. it's coming together now, which I'm really happy about. Starting to get to the point where the ride is becoming noticeable and very much fit together. I don't want to say anything, but the sound hasn't broken for the coaster yet, which is scaring me. So this whole section around here as well has also been totally finished. Another main thing you might have noticed, we have a transfer track now, which is a detail I've wanted to put in for this ride for a very long time, but I just haven't had the time to do it, and now we do have a transfer track, which I have grouped so that when you download this, if you want, you can just move it along. I'm going to pause it so it doesn't fall off, but you can just move the transfer table along, get the screenshots of it being storagey and stuff. You could put a train in the shed if you really wanted to, and it was, you know, it's a really nice extra bit of detail that you can put in there. And I forgot to mute Discord, for God's sake. Yeah, so this is a little detail I wanted to put in that means it takes this level of detail up to a, you know, a much bigger one. And you also might have noticed this end section is now done. I've put the bridge in, well, at least one half of the bridge. And we've terraformed the entire end section of the ride now, complete with Galactica now, which I am going to put in, and I'm going to make the custom lift hill and things to make it look really, really nice. This end corkscrew is now totally done, and it fits really nicely with the vegetation. I might add some more plants around the base, depending on when the bus goes in, how that's going to sort of look. But this end section again is now totally done with the heights for the Galactica Plaza laid out and stuff. We also now have the first drop of Galactica in just to tie the area together a bit more. And this fence, which, why does that lighting look so weird? Yeah, we've got like more things like ground cover, moss and vegetation on the wall. That is so loud. I understand it's a B&M invert, but my God, is it loud. This little shed, no idea what's in the shed, but it's there. It's got a cable running to it as well. And that means that this end queue section is now totally finished and feels done, so that when you sort of look this way, if you excuse the fact that there's no station arm, the ride's done. But, you know, I think we're in a good place for this project, and I'm very happy with how it's come along. I'll give you a bit of an overall view. Like, you can see now that we are getting to a very completed point, where the next sort of goals for this project are tidy up the end section around here, so I'm just going to fill in the terrain with a big car park and put the trees roughly where they need to go. I'm going to finish Galactica off to the point where it's got a smooth first drop and stuff, and put the supports in, the stuff, put fences down, you know, continue this gate and stuff along. So that this ride, like the whole package that you're going to be downloading is going to be up to Galactica's thing, you know, Galactica's first drop, and sort of a mini plaza area. I'll try not to make it look cut off as best I can, but I can't, you know, I can't do Galactica just yet, though I might do it in the future again. I mean, we'll build Subterra's building very roughly, so that, you know, you've got some context when you're walking down into Forbidden Valley, that you can see the helix. I want that shot where you're walking down and you see the helix, because that is, to me, one of the staple important parts of Nemesis, and I want to capture that, just how I've captured, like, other bits of the ride, like, you know, this iconic view here. So that, I think, is the whole project as a current standing point, and this will be the last update video you see from it, because in the next, I want to say week, 2 weeks, I'm going to aim to get this thing finished so that I can, you know, set the stage and get the video presented, because you will want to stay tuned for that video, because it's going to be a very, very, very good one, hopefully. So yeah, this is the project. This is Nemesis. It's taken a long time. It's going to take more time, but it is a good project, and I'm really glad that I'm putting the time into making this as best as I can possibly put in. And I appreciate you guys staying tuned and really being patient with me, and I'm very sorry the upload has been god-awful this year. Compared to 2021 and 2020, I have been shocking this year, and I am very sorry. But thank you so much for like 4,000 subscribers and the 500,000 view milestone. I haven't forgotten about it, and I know I haven't made videos specifically addressing them, but I've just been wanting to get this done. This is, to me, my be-all or end-all if I stop making Planet Coaster, which I'm not planning to, don't worry. And I hope that that translates, and I hope that you guys appreciate the fact that this game is running this somehow. I think we need to give props to Planker for all its flaws, that it can be realistic, when it wants to. Content-wise, I'll try and have a challenge video out next week, I think, because I'm aiming to have most of Nemesis finished by next week so that we can focus on going into the new year with some new projects and new content-related things. So if you want me to make a park, maybe, because I do have a park that I started that I have not shown on this channel. It has a ride that I have uploaded is in that park in a different form. So if you maybe want to see me turn that park into a main series that is now replaces Nemesis, because obviously we do have the Flawless coaster that I started and I've shelved, but we could always move that into this park or something, So if you want to see that, let me know, and I will start a new series building a park, and we will have our own park to work on. If you want to see that, let me know. If you've got any challenge video ideas, let me know. Series, coasters, just give me suggestions, and I will do my best to follow them. And yeah, I think I've waffled for enough. My God, we're nearly at 15 minutes now in the recording. It probably won't be that long. I'll cut it down, but thank you very much for watching the final Nemesis update, and I hope you guys stay tuned for the video showcasing it, and I hope you download it. You will need a good computer, I'm very sorry. And I hope that you are enjoying this series, because it's done. Sorry, it's donezo. But thank you guys very much for watching. Stay tuned for more, and I will see you all next time.